Good morning, this is Rabbi Shlomo Furst here at Yeshiva Tsama Nafshi in Yerushalayim Kodesh. We're located on Rehov Zikr Yaakov number 6 in the Beit Knesset of Chanukah Yeshiva, not too far from the central bus station, so you can walk, drive, bus. Please, if you're coming from Chutz La'aretz, join us. This is our first year. About 9 o'clock in the morning, we have breakfast, coffee for you, snacks, some things to eat, and there's a lot of Torah to learn. So if you're visiting here in Eretz Yisrael, please join us. We'd love to have your participation in the shirim as well. We're learning Pirkei Avos, the second Mishnah in the first Perek, right? That Shimon Tzaddik Hayim Yishari Knesset Gadol. This is from the remainder of the Knesset Gadol. We're going to review now what the Morals Metraged taught us in his parish on Pirkei Avos Derech HaChaim. That's number 4 in the sheet you have here. Maybe we'll just begin again from yesterday to review that. Amon, you want to read over from number 4 there at the time?
Shimon Tzaddik Am Bishar Anshe Knesset Gadol. Shimon was the last ones of the.
Now that's really the question. Was he the absolute very last one, or was he from the remaining last ones?
יש לשאול למה הוא צריך לומר שהיה בשערי כנסת הגדולה. We have to ask, why was it necessary to say that he was from the remnants of the Knesset Gedolah?
Right, if we're being taught that, it's obviously significant. So the question is, what's the significance of that message?
ולא אמר שהיה מאנשי כנסת גדולה. He didn't say that he was from the אנשי כנסת גדולה. וזה מוכיח הפירוש of this מוכיח comes to explain the pirush that we said. שתוכחות מוסר הם לפי הדור. That the musar, that the tochot is the
like the criticisms.
Criticism. A musar is according to the generation. לפיכך לא נמצא מוסר קודם אנשי כנסת גדולה כמו שאמרנו. We do not find, therefore we don't find that musar was said before the Anshe Knesset Gadol, like we said.
Even though we have to really understand what that means, because as we said yesterday, the Nevi'im were very, very full of Musar to give to Klal Yisrael. So we have to understand what
I think there's a difference between the Nevi'im and Musar. Nevi'im, we're telling them, don't do it, you're going to die. Musar is to help yourself to get better. Now, you're right, Nevi'im have this power of helping people if they see it, but I think it was on a much higher level, maybe.
Could be. Very good.
רק מן אנשי כנסת הגדולה כולם ביחד שהיו עדה קדושה. Only that all the members of the Knesset Gadol were all in one group and they were all holy. ובוודאי הדור היה יותר שלם מאשר כבר הלכו כולם לעולמם. And for sure the generation were more whole and were more whole from before they went to the next world, I guess.
Right. That generation was on a greater level of perfection than ever before.
Than ever before?
It said, well, it says, "Bevadei hadur haya yoser sholim ma'asher kvar halchu kulam ba'olamam lo nishar rak shem netzayim." So what does it mean here? Bevadei hadur haya yoser sholim ma'asher kvar halchu kulam ba'olamam. I think he's mentioning the door was obviously more perfect.
Which door? The door of
the Anshe Knesset Gedolah, that they are definitely more perfect, right? Before they all left this world, meaning after they left this world, that was a tremendous drop in their influence and in their over the generations. So definitely the door is much more perfect, right? Before they left this world.
So, a question. I mean, this based on the Ramban I mentioned before, and based on what we learned, that Ezra had to force people to come, and they were married to non-Jews and all that. How could that generation that was a generation of Mordechai and Pirkei Torah investors, so I understand they were great. But to say that they were the greatest based on what we see.
Yeah, so it could be not.
Because you have Shlomo Melech, David, and you have a lot of generations.
Right. So maybe we'll have to take that back. I don't think it really. I'm now looking at it a different way. It doesn't seem to be saying that generation was more perfect than any other Jew. I think what he's saying, Vavadei hadur haya yoseh sholim ma'asher kvar halchu kulam la'olamam. meaning that generation was definitely more perfect.
And when they
Right,
came after.
before Halchu Kulam Olamo, before, meaning their perfection was at the time when the Anshe Knesset Gadol was still alive, right?
Oh,
and that
I
was
see,
the- and
okay.
afterwards there was obviously
Oh,
a
that's
drop
right,
in the
that's right.
perfection.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
That-
yes,
that's good.
yes, okay. ולא נשאר רק שמעון הצדיק בלבד, והוא היה יחידי. There was only Shimon HaTzadik was named, and he was the only one. וכן פירוש רש"י, משיער אנשי כנס הגדורה משלוש שיריים. That's what Rashi explained. משיער from the leftovers of the אנשי כדורה, meaning שיריים, leftovers. והיה אותו הזמן דומה לדור של אחריו, שהרי לא נמצא אז כל אנשי כנס רק יחיד היה. And in that time, it was it resembled the generation after her that we don't find the Anshe Knesset Gedola, only the individual one. ובזה היה דומה הדור לדור שרח. No, ובזה היה דומה הדור לדור שרחריו. And this was resembled the generation after that came after it.
Right, because just as there was the Anshe Knesset Gadol, they represented a certain level of perfection. When they left, the perfection decreased, leaving Shimon and Tzaddik as the one and only one who was the remainder of that original perfection. And as we see from one Jorah after the next, that's the way it is, meaning there's always going to be a remnant of perfection from the previous door left over to be passed on to the next generation.
Okay. שלא נמצאו רק יחידים שהיו אבות הדור, because they're only individuals that we find that were the avot, the heads of the generation. כמו שתמצא דווקא באנטיגנוס איש סופר, we find it with Antigonus איש סופר שהיה אחר שמעון צדיק, it was after Shimon צדיק. וכן הזוגות שהיו אחר אנטיגנוס, and also the pairs that were after Antigonus. ועוד, and also כי מה שנקרא אנשי כנסת גדולה, and also what was called the אנשי כנסת גדולה, שפירשו כנסיעה של גדולים, וזהו מצד הכלל שכולם ביחד. And it was explained as a gathering of the great people, and this was on the side
The aspect that
that they were all together.
right, they all joined together. I mean, their excellence was due in part to, and primarily because they were all there together.
Right. Shimon HaTzadik, Tzadik Echad, Shimon HaTzadik was a Tzadik, one Tzadik. Parte Haya Vehu Bechina Bifnei Atzmo. Okay, I don't get that.
So Shimon Tzaddik, Echad Prati Hay, he was an individual. He was had a special status all by himself. Meaning,
It was unique.
yeah, there was the Anshe Knesset Gadola, which he was part of, right? So as long as that body lasted, so they were the influencing body upon that generation. Now, when they left the world, and there was no longer the majority, or at least even most, if not all, of the Anshe Knesset Gadola remaining, there was only Shimon Tzaddik, who was individual, unique in him by himself. So therefore, he was the one that now carried over that semel, that symbol of perfection for the next generation.
וכך מחולק הכנסייה הקדושה עד סקר לשתי בחינה. That's why we divide the Knesset, the holiness of the country Knesset into two aspects. האחד מצד החיבור של כולם, one is the association of all of them
together. There was that was a tremendous, great aspect of the Knesset Gadol. They were all unified as a particular group together. That gave them a specific influence on that generation.
והם אמרו מוסר אחד, they said one musar.
They all gave one message because they were bound together as a group. They acted as a group, and they gave one particular message.
והבחינה השנית, the second thing, מצד הפרט שהיה שמעון צדיק משאר שכנגד הגדולה, being that Shimon HaTzadik was from the leftover כנגד הגדולה, והוא אמר מוסר בפני, and he said Musar by himself because he was the only one. ולפיכך אמר שמעון הצדיק משאר כנגד הגדולה. That's why it says that Shimon was from the last of the Ashkenazim. So Shimon Tzaddik, it was from the last ones, and he was a Kohen Gadol for 40 years.
Yes.
With nothing. He must have been pretty young when he was part of that group.
Oh, so if you just take a look, there's a bit of a discrepancy apparently. If you take a look, you see number 2, Rashi?
Yeah.
Take a look at Rashi, see what Rashi says over here.
Shimon Tzaddik Kohen Gadol Haya. He was a Kohen Gadol. Mishra, Yare Lashon Shrine, meaning leftovers. Kelomar, Besof Shelo Haya Imahem Betchila. He was at the end but not the beginning. Betchilat Ba'im Ezra. He was in the time of Ezra.
Right, meaning he wasn't there.
There was a Kohen before him.
Betchilas Habayis B'Yemei Ezra, right? He was not there at the beginning of the bias B'Yemei Ezra.
So he wasn't the first one?
Oh, so take a look. Very good point. Take a look. The number 8, the base of Bechira number 8.
Shimon Tzaddikai Mishra. I'm sorry, you want?
No, go ahead. Yes.
Shimon Tzaddikai Mishra. Shimon was from the last one.
The remnants of the Knesset Gedolah.
Ratzelah Markni Machronehem from the last one.
Not necessarily the very last one.
Right.
It could be what the Maharal is talking about, perhaps. But the Murray saying was from the Achronim, not the very last one.
Sharehu Haya Betchila Binyan Baicheni, because he was from the first ones who built the second house.
So that's not apparently like Rashi. Rashi says Lo Haya Betchilas Bias Bimei. It wasn't there at the beginning of the bias, but here, right? Or unless you want to say that maybe Rashi means that he was around, but he wasn't part of the Anshe Knesset Gadol at the very beginning. I'm not so sure. But you see the Miri is learning that he was there at the beginning of the Binyan bias, Sheni.
Right.
Who are you Kohen Gadol?
Ezra was a Kohen?
That's for sure.
Okay.
Ezra was definitely, we proved that Ezra was definitely a Kohen.
So he couldn't have been the first one.
Right, Kohen Gadol, because it's Kohen Gadol. He was, take a look at number 9, the Psukim. Take a look at the Psukim. You want to know Ezra's
Artachshastek Melech Paras. After these things, in the king during the reign of Artachshastek, the king of Paras, Ezra ben Saria ben Azariah ben Chitya, Ezra the son of Azariah, son of Azariah ben Chitya, ben Shalom ben Tzaduk ben Achitu, ben Amaria ben Azariah ben Maros ben Zarachia ben Uzi ben Buki, Ben Abishua, Ben Pinchas, Ben Elazar, Ben Aaron, Kohen Harosh. He was the first one. Who Ezra, Alami Babel, he's there went to Babel. Who Sofer Mahir B'Torah Moshe, and he was the Sofer, a writer.
Mahir is very quick.
In writing Torah Moshe. Asher Natan Hashem Elokei, Hashem gave to Israel. But Yiten Lo HaMelech Kiyad Hashem Elokav, and the king gave it to him in the hand of Hashem. Like it came, like Yiten Lo HaMelech Kiyad Hashem, the king gave it like in the hand of Hashem. Elokav is God. Alav. Kol bakashito, all that he asked for.
So see, here's his yichus. His yichus goes all the way back to Aaron.
Right.
So obviously Ezra was a Kohen. Was he a Kohen Gadol? Right. So now, go back to hold it. Better yet, see the Malbim. Okay, number 10, right where we were. Malbim.
Malbim, Ezra Perek Zayin, HaKohen Harosh, Ezra Petarba.
He's going on that pasuk, Kohen Harosh.
Kohen Harishon, the first king, Kohen. Who Ezra was it? Shimon Tzaddik Yisrael, B'Knesset Gedolah, Amar, Ashadar Ha'olam, Omen. Shimon Tzaddik said he was from the leftovers of the Anshe Knesset Gedolah, and he said 3 things. Ha'olam Torah, Avodah V'Chasadim. The world stands on Torah, on Avodah V'Chasadim. You make Knesset Gedolah meet Basru Shlosha Omdim Ele Al Yidei Shlosha Anashim Mesuyamim.
Specific. There were the 3 omudim, the 3 pillars that were rebuilt at the time when they came back to Yerushalayim to rebuild the base of English. They rebuilt 3 specific pillars, and they was built specifically by 3 different people. Mesuyamim, specific people.
Ayid is Zerubbabel, Yoshua. HaKohen Gadol, Yeshua Gadol, Nivnei HaMikdash, he built it.
So now you see that Hoshea, according to Malbim, he's telling us, Hoshea HaKohen Gadol Nivnei HaMikdash, who's the one who built the Mikdash?
Sarah Amud Havoda, and he worked on the avoda. Ve'acharav Yatzav Ezra, and after came Ezra, the Kohen Amud the Torah, and he set up the Torah. Ve'achar Nehemiah, and after came Nehemiah, Shebana Chomot Ha'ir, that he built the walls of the city. Ve'isek ve'mediniot lebatzer Amud Gimel Chasidim. Oh, and therefore he is the one who fixed the pillar of Chesed. Right. So basically, if anything, according to this, Shimon must have been the third Kohen.
So according to this, apparently, according to Mabim, Hoshea Kohen Nivna HaMikdash.
That's right.
He was the one who built the Mikdash. He was obviously, he's called a Kohen Gadol,
right.
So let's say he was the first Kohen Gadol, right? Then you have Ezra Achra.
That's right, so he was also a Kohen.
Was definitely a Kohen.
We don't know if he was Kohen.
Was a Kohen Gadol, that's okay. A bit of a doubt, a question, right? And then you had Shimon the Kohen, how can that be what?
Ezra, who saved Torah. He could have given the Torah like Moshe, they said, right?
Perfect, very good. Okay, so now, to answer that,
I'm glad he has all the answers already all set up. We had all the questions. You must have seen my dreams last night.
Number 13. I think this is the Sefer Yuchsin, if I'm not mistaken. Number 13.
Ve'achar shemet Yoshua Kohen Gadol. Yeshua the Kohen Gadol died. Haya fi anira shaya Ezra Kohen Gadol. It seems that Ezra was the Kohen Gadol. Shasa paradum, because he did the paraduma. Apa fi shenir b'sefer Ezra, even though it seems that it said from Ezra, kivanu yivikim v'chem beno Yeshua shehu Elishiv ve'Yidua ben Elishiv ve'Notan beno ve'Yidua kulam kohanim gedolim v'Ezra. Even though it seems from Sefer Ezra that Yeshua and Elishiv and Yivada and Yonatan are known to be the Kohen Gadol and not Ezra.
So now it's you're saying clearly that Ezra was not a Kohen Gadol.
Afa pishin ira betchilat Sefer Hamada, even though it seems from the Sefer Hamada, ki Ezra
that's the Rambam, right?
That's right. Yeah, Ezra ya Kohen Gadol. Ezra was Kodim Shemot before she was Atzadik.
Right. So according to the Rambam, he seems to indicate that Ezra was the Kohen Gadol before Shimon Tzaddik was the Kohen Gadol.
Any nire zeb b'shum Sefer B'Divrei. We don't see this in any of the books of Sefer Divrei Yamin. Ki mizer Yeshua, because from Yeshua mibana u'mibnei bana. Because from the seed of Yeshua and his children, grandchildren were Kohen Gadol. So they Pirish Rashi Be'ezra ki kol hashisha kohanim gedolim Mizrahi. The 6 kohanim gedolim were from the seed of Yeshua. And wait a second. So what Shimon said that his name is not here, but he's part of these 6.
That's a good question.
Because then we're saying that it was much later. Although the question is, the problem is in the second bit of Mitzvah with 300 Kohanim Gedolim, so it doesn't.
Well, but this is at the beginning time, so
you're talking, even if everybody's take 10 years, you're still talking at least 70, 80, 100 years,
which is too much time.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, according to this calculation.
Right. Okay. So let's hold on to this. Maybe we'll go back and look at it again. Now, take a look at number 14. This is Medrash. Shira Shirim, this is Chazal already. Right? This is going way back to Chazal. Shira Shirim Rabbit.
Parsha Ha'amur Resh Lakish.
Parsha. Ha'amur Resh Lakish.
Ha'amur Resh Lakish. Mekuda Shabai Shelo Allah Ezra Be'otasha.
Okay.
The house was made holy. That Ezra did not go up at that time.
Right, now we have to remember that Ezra did not come originally to Eretz Yisrael.
Right.
He stayed, the whole Kozman, his Rebbe was alive.
That's right, he stayed there.
He stayed until his Rebbe was dead.
That's right.
He did not want to leave his Rebbe, Kozman, he was alive.
Right.
So he remained in Babel.
Right.
Even though there were rules of Klai, so they did come up to Eretz Yisrael, left Babel, came to Yerushalayim, and began and apparently built the Beis HaMikdash. Right? So, the Beis HaMikdash was already there in effect at the time of when Ezra finally came up. Right? Okay.
Shalu Allah Ezra.
So that can explain why they were Kohen Gadol. Even if Ezra was a Kohen Gadol,
Right, that
he
explains.
didn't have to be the first
That's
one,
right. That's right.
right? And neither did Shimon Tzaddik have to be there at the beginning of the time of the building of the Beis Hamikdash, right? He came obviously. Shimon Tzaddik obviously came after Ezra. Right? It was Ezra, and then it was transferred to
So
Shimon
Yeshua,
Tzaddik.
it had to be Yeshua, his 6 children.
Right.
Then, if you want to change to Ezra, and
Right.
then you can say that. So,
So-
we're talking. So we're talking a tremendous amount of time.
That we'll have to find out exactly how much time Ezra remained back in Babel after the time when they were told to go and rebuild the Beis Hamikdash. We can try and find out how much time that was. That should be clearly written in the story. And but then the 6 or so Kohen Gedolim from the Zera of Yoshia, that I'm not sure necessarily they had to live their whole lives out as Kohen Gadol. Maybe for some reason they transferred.
Well, yeah,
I know
that-
they have to. You have to somehow fit the number of people who were Kohen Gedolim to the.
Well, they were buying the
Fine.
kahuna at that time. The second the know that people bought the kahuna.
Well, not at this time. That came afterwards. That was the time of the Hashmonaim and Hordes.
After that time it
Yeah,
started.
Shimon
20
Tzaddik
years.
was 40 years in Kohen Gadol,
Right.
and
No,
until
right.
then everything was more or less stable.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that didn't. The corruption didn't seep into the Kohen Gadol until after Shimon Tzaddik. If
Okay.
I'm not mistaken. So Shimon
Shalu
says.
Ezra Velota Shah Haya Lesatan Lekatre Velomar Mutav Sheyishamish Ezra Bekuna Gedola Mishamish Yeshua Ben Yehotzedek Kohen Gadol. And so the certain.
So it came a complaint, right, to say that it was better that Ezra should be the one who was going to be the Kohen Gadol more
Ben Yoshua.
than Yoshua ben Otzadik. Kohen Gadol.
Yoshua Ben Tzedek Haya Kohen Gadol Ben Kohen Gadol, because Yoshua was Kohen Gadol Ben Kohen Gadol. What? So that means that we're saying so that means that he either his father was from the first temple, or his father was a Kohen Gadol in the second temple, and he was the second Kohen Gadol.
Right.
So we're bringing more time into it now.
Right. So that's not clear. Who was that? Could have been. I mean, Yoshua ben Otzadik could have been, right. His father could have been maybe even the last Kohen Gadol in the Bayis Rishon.
Right.
That's something.
That's what I'm
else.
saying. That either that, or he was in the second, and then and we had an extra person. So now we have 7 people. I would say. Of Ezra al Yedesha ya Adam Tzadik, Ezra, because it was a holy man. Lo haya roa l'shamish bekahuna gedola kemoto. He wasn't able to.
He wasn't fit to serve as the Kohen Gadol as well as Yoshua ben Otzadik for whatever reasons. But they're obviously, according to the Medrash, Ezra was not a Kohen Gadol, even though we have indications from the Rambam himself that Ezra was a Kohen Gadol. But we have apparently some discrepancies as to whether or not he was in fact a Kohen Gadol. And take a look at the line number 15 is the who? Maklo? The 15. This is the Hakdama of the
Rambam Yachazaka, Beit Din Shel Ezra, Hema Nikra Manchek Gedola. The Beit Din of Ezra was called the Manchek Gedola. Vem Chagai Zechariah, Malachi, Daniel, V'Chananya, Mishael, V'Azariah, V'Nechemia Bechalicha, Mordechai Bilshan, V'Zerubbabel, V'Arba Chamim Maimon. There were a lot of Chamim with them. Tashel Mea V'Esrim Zekanim. There were 120 Zekanim. Ha'chara Mehem Shimon HaTzadik. The last one was Shimon HaTzadik. V'hu haya Miklal HaMea V'Es. He was part of the 120. Or what? V'kiba Torah Sheba'al Peh Mikulam. He received the Torah from all of them. V'hu haya Kohen Gadol Achar Ezra. And he was the Kohen Gadol Achar Ezra.
Right, so it's mashma that from the Rambam, that's what they're referring to, that it's mashma that the Rambam was learning that Ezra was a Kohen Gadol as well.
Wow.
Okay, so I have a bit of a machlokus in terms of the basic question, was Ezra a Kohen Gadol or not? But clearly Shimon Tzaddik came after Ezra, right, and there apparently were Kohen Gadolim before Ezra, if in fact he was a Kohen Gadol, and which could have been. But we have to try and find out factually, if it's possible, how that fit into the timeline, the chronology. Okay, Mitzvah Hashem will start the distribution in a few moments.